Welcome. This is Callie Carroll, and you're listening to a special series where we're diving into Rhonda Byrne's book, The Magic, taking 28 days to have intentional gratitude to see how our lives can change. It is a part of Good Morning Sunshines where we wake up to see that perspective reveals miracles. And guys, I'm telling you, gratitude can change your world. Let's get started. Good morning, sunshines. How is everybody doing today? It's gorgeous here in Colorado right now. We're not sure if it's going to be summer tomorrow or if we're going to have 12 inches of snow. So I am doing a classic and I'm going to be wearing my footy pajamas. And we like put ice cubes down the toilet and like a spoon underneath your pillow, hoping for a snow day. You're thinking, why? Like, big deal for you to have your kids out of school? Not really. Wynn's not in school. My other son's in preschool. He goes for a couple hours, and my senior barely goes at all. My daughter's on spring break. So it's just like the idea of having a snow day. It doesn't matter if there's anywhere to go, which you know what is a great tie in for what we're going to talk about today, which is making your wishes come true, making things happen, saying thank you for the things we want to occur in our lives before it even gets there. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the snowstorm that's going to be beautiful and it's going to nourish all of our property. So things are so green this summer. And also, it's going to be a lot of fun to go sledding and snowboarding and do snowmen and do all of the things tomorrow. Thank you. That's what we do. It kind of reminds me of how people have been doing this for centuries, ages. Like they do rain dances until it rained. Like we're going to do a rain dance until it rains. This is going to work because we are going to make this happen. And today's magical practice is all about saying thank you for what you want to create in your life. Now, first thing, you guys, if you don't know what you want to create in your life, this isn't going to be a fun talk, really. You're like, that's awesome, Cal, except for I can't do any of that because I have no clue. I don't really know maybe who I am or what I want yet. Go back to our lesson on reviewing who you are and what you want. And it's just a very basic starter to support you with really creating that vision in your mind. But we'll go deeper. We'll dive deeper into that throughout this podcast over time here. So that'll be fun to continue to do that. Visioning has always been one of my favorite things. I was a gymnast for I don't know how many years, 14 years. And a big part of our practice was visualization and us being able to see us successfully accomplish something before we did was often more important than us actually executing the skill, especially when you're doing something that's so hard on your body, because we couldn't technically like pound on our joints sometimes that much. So we would have to give our bodies rest, but we would still practice by closing our eyes. So you would like look at this group of gymnasts and everybody's just sitting there with their eyes closed. Or we're like twitching around because we're like doing arm movements and we're seeing things with our eyes closed, which is even funnier to see. But really that's the form of practice, is seeing it before it becomes. And I love that Rhonda Byrne touches on this in this chapter, and her whole book is phenomenal, but this is her sweet spot, visualizing things, seeing things, and now she's adding in this practice, saying thank you for things before they even come to us. And how that, whatever words you want to use, manifestation, creation, attraction, occurs when you start to put that positive energy and vibration towards something that you want in your life. If you guys haven't watched the special on, I think it's on Netflix, I don't know about right now, but it goes through and it's a documentary where it talks about people practicing. And I can't remember all of the stories off the top of my head, but one of them that stood out for me was someone looking for and thinking about their dream home. And I don't know if you guys have ever done like a vision book, but you could just write things, you could draw things, you could journal things, you could cut out magazines, you could print pictures, you could do a Pinterest dream board where you actually are putting all these things that you want to have, create, enjoy in your life somewhere where you can look at them on a regular basis. And this individual put this picture of a house that they wanted, like their dream house in California. And then all of their stuff got boxed up, blah, blah, blah. Don't exactly know how it all happened. But later on, it shows them unboxing their stuff from the move. And I don't know if it was him or his like child, I think, like pulls out the box, is like, let's go through this. And the person didn't want to go through it. Like they were so busy. Like, can I just take a look at this? And they open it up and see that the house that's in their vision board, the one that they put there however long ago, is the home that they're actually sitting in. Not a home kind of like it, but the actual home decades later. That part was so wild to me because it wasn't that they saw that exact number and they're like, "Oh, that's the one on my vision board. I'm gonna go get that." It was this is something I want a house that's like this. And then they went through life and they were creating everything. And then all of a sudden they were sitting in the exact same house. The power of seeing before having, of seeing up here in your mind, creating a belief, and then creating in real life is a phenomenal practice. If you haven't done it personally in your life, I highly, highly recommend you see what this could actually do in your world. So, like I said, I've always enjoyed visualization. And when I was building a business, kind of when I came out of my bankruptcy Eeyore phase, where I was like, what's going on in my life? Oh, I have to take control of it. I need to start practicing like mindset things. I need to dive in personal development. And I started this like growth journey. After that, I started doing these regular visualization runs where I would go out, and I hated running. But it was like, you know what? This is going to be fun. I'm going to try something new for a month, just run every day for 1 month. And as my feet would hit the pavement, I would start to visualize what I wanted to create in my life. And as close to as I could get it, I really saw and felt everything because I did this. I mean, this was 24, 30 plus hours that I was out there running, doing this visualization. So I started to really fine tune what my vision was. And then to see myself 5 years later carrying out, I'm going to say 98% of what that vision was without even like directly connecting the two. I know that this works. What was really fun about today, diving back into the practice, is for me to personally go through the steps again because you're never done visualizing, you're never done dreaming, you're never done thinking about the possibilities of what could be, because as we go through different chapters of our lives, what we want is going to change. Some people don't want to dream because they're like, well, what if I'm dreaming too small? What if I'm dreaming too big? What if my dream changes? Yes, all of those things. It doesn't matter. You dream whatever you're going to dream now, and then tomorrow or in 2 weeks your dream might change, grow, expand, who knows. So don't let that be one of the things that's stopping you from doing your dreaming. But I noticed as I went today to do my practice that even though I talked about it 10 lessons ago, and I started to really think about and connect to some of the things that I might want, but I hadn't taken the time to sit down, pen to paper, quiet space, and really think about it myself. And I'm like, why am I not doing that? Why am I putting a pause on what's possible in my life by not telling the universe what I want? And as Rhonda explains it in the book The Magic, this is like putting in an order. It's like you go up to the drive-through window of the universe and you're like, "Okay, hey, I'm gonna take a house in Hawaii, a house in the mountains. I'd like my home paid off, the kids' college paid off. I want a job that I love, that I'm passionate about, really good relationship with my spouse. I want to enjoy time with my kids, and I also want to have what I was going to say 8,000 more things, right? So you place your order and you go through and you're like, okay, I'm not going to figure out how all those things are going to show up, but I'm just going to keep doing my life, keep being passionate, keep being kind, keep serving, keep giving, and see what happens. And it's extraordinary what it does. So when I went through and I was diving in and actually connecting today, number one, it felt amazing. Number two, when I was done with the process and I was going to the gym, I basically thought about it throughout all of my yoga practice. I'm like, why haven't I done this sooner? And since Witten John's chemo for the last year and a half, and we're coming up on 2 years right now, I have been obviously and understandably completely sidetracked, not sidetracked, but tracked right to the exact track of being chemo mom, being caregiver, being in my space that I needed to be at that time, which was perfectly perfect of where I needed to be. And as we were coming out of the chemo hangover after October, he rang the bell for the last couple months. It's been all about reacting to his emotion irregularities, his different sensory things that he's going through, trying to teach him to eat again, wear clothes again, trying to figure out his other diseases. So there has been a lot of mental occupation, right, that's been going along with caring for him. But throughout that process, I'm going to say between 5 and 10 times, I was like, okay, Cal, let's start dreaming again. Let's start thinking about all of these different things that you'd like to have in your life. And every single time it was like, nope, you're not ready for that. Go clean up the puke, go to the hospital, go handle this emotional dysregulation that's happening. So I kept like, whoop, okay, okay, I'm not there yet. And I think it's kind of made me a little bit tentative where usually I'm tenacious because it's like in my back of my mind, I was like, well, wait, but if I, oh man, I'm going to say this out loud, but I'm going to correct it right away because I want you guys to know what I was thinking because I catch myself, right? What if I create this idea and this goal of what I want and another life boulder hits me and then it just completely derails me off that path? And I think that's laying somewhere in my subconscious, but consciously, I wouldn't say that because I know that those words would be harmful to my future and my situation, even though I just wanted to explain that to you. So I spoke them there. But as I was coaching myself through this today during yoga, going over why maybe I haven't done that, I just offered myself support. I have a lot of internal coaching. We talk, me and myself and I, we chat up there. And I said to myself, self, because that's what I call myself, you know what? It's okay that you haven't done this yet. And it's understandable that it feels awkward that you've been thrown off the path in the past in the last couple years. And that feels like a little maybe different than what you're used to. But it's time to sit down and really say what you want again. And whatever happens in the future, you know you can handle it because you're a total badass. So let's start putting it out there. What do you want next? Let's really connect to what your universal order is and do Rhonda's practice to our fullest ability because you deserve to, and you can. And I wanted to share that because some of you guys, maybe you've postponed doing this sort of practice for multiple reasons. You failed in the past. You don't think it's going to work. You think it's a bunch of malarkey. You don't know when you're going to be sidetracked. So you just don't do it. But doing it is super fun. First of all, it is not a waste of 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it takes you to really start to connect. They say a minute per practice. I'll go through that in a second here. So 10 minutes. It's not a waste of time. It makes you feel amazing just thinking about it. It helps you get to know yourself as you go through the different possibilities of what you might want. So you're enjoying yourself, you're getting to know yourself, you're setting the stage for what might be, maybe it'll be desire down the road. If you're not ready to do the full activity right now, at least you're setting a stage and acknowledging to yourself what you enjoy and don't enjoy, finding that road down what your passion might be. So already it's a win 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 situation. Now, when you decide to take ownership of it and tell the voice in your head, the doubter, the one that's saying this isn't going to work, whatever, to tell them to shut the heck darnity darn up and that you're in charge and you're driving and they can buckle up and get ready to take a ride or they can jump ship. But right now, you're the one that's going to be telling the universe, this is my order. This is what I want. This is what I go after. And you might have to keep telling that person, like, just tuck them onto the ledge if you need to, not off the ledge. Just be like, "Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. I don't need any of your negative Nancy bullshit. Like, I'm moving forward." And that's fine. A lot of us have to do that. I'm obviously right there where I'm traversing along that. Like, okay, let's not be naysaying this. Let's push forward. So we do this practice today where if you didn't do this a while ago, you're going to go through and you identify different things that you want in your life, in your finances, in your relationship, in your career, material things. And after you've done that and started to connect to what you want, today's practice is to pick 10 of those items and really get clear and close as to what it's going to feel like when they occur. Not if they occur, when they occur. And if you guys have ever done affirmations or visualization or manifestation, all of this comes from a space of I already have. It's not a when I have or if I have, it's I already have. And of course, we're going to tie in our gratitude by saying thank you, thank you, thank you for what we already have, which we don't have yet, but we're going to have. So we're going to speak into the future. And we're going to do it with 10 different situations. You can choose whichever 10 you want. You can choose all of them in your work arena, or maybe you want to choose one from each different arena. It doesn't really matter. And you're going to think about what it would be like, what it will be like when that happens and saying, so thank you, thank you, thank you for that moment where my husband and I just clicked again and we had this beautiful we have this beautiful relationship with that's rich with communication. Thank you, thank you, thank you for my new car that I received with ease that I absolutely love. Thank you, thank you, thank you for my new job, and I'm so excited about the opportunity to be working in blah blah blah. And we're speaking as if it has already happened. Those were none of mine, by the way. Just those are the first ones that came to my little brain. And first, you're going to write your thank you, thank you, thank you. Using thank you 3 times is her recommendation. It's a lot of different reasoning behind that. The magical number of 3. Plus, it's going to really solidify it before you say it. Thank you for, and explain whatever you're thankful for. And remember, you're not doubting it while you're saying it. You're saying thank you as if it's already occurred and you don't have to figure out how it occurred. If your little brain's just like, oh, but wait, how did you get the car? How did you get the job? How did you make that happen with your spouse? That's not what it is. It's just a thank you, thank you, thank you. It already happened. Then you're really going to dive in deep. And this is what I'm doing right now. So I did my thank you, thank you, thank yous. And now I'm going in through each one and reading it again and connecting for about a minute a piece is the recommendation to feeling the emotions that you felt when that occurred. How did that really make you feel? And allowing yourself to feel that muster of like excitement and joy or whatever that is develop within your tummy and come up through your lungs and your chest and maybe even to your throat of just like, yes, feeling it. What did it feel like when that happened? You could just do this with one practice if you don't want to do all 10. Okay, guys. Then you're going to see how you reacted when it did. Who did you tell first? Who's the first person you were so excited and how did you tell them? Oh my gosh, I got my new dream car. You're never going to believe it. Or maybe you're going to drive it up with your own red ribbon because you don't need somebody else to put a bow on it. You got a bow on it. How are you going to announce it to that person? And then finally, what's the first thing that you did when you received that? When it happened? What's the first thing that you did? And as you do these 3 different practices, it's going to help connect you emotionally to the positive energy around those things already occurring, which is going to support you in bringing it and attracting it to you. And we don't need to go back into the law of attraction and how this works and how it transforms your RAS and how you're looking for different things and you have more opportunities and things come in. We've done all that before and we can talk about that again later. Right now, today is about really getting close with 10 different things that you'd like to have happen in your world and then going deep with each one of those by thinking about the different things of, what emotion did you feel when it happened? Who did you tell? How did you tell them? And really, what was that first thing that you did with the news? If you don't feel excited after you do this activity, I do not know what's going on over there. You really need to work on making you didn't pick the right things. You're not passionate about the things that were on your list. Maybe you thought too small. You're like, you know what? I want to be able to buy 2 packs of Krispy Kremes this weekend instead of one. Probably not getting you so excited. Maybe you want to open up a Krispy Kreme yourself and then you make a wonderful amount of money that you use to pay for your kids' college education. I don't know. You got to go deeper than that. If you're not feeling excited about this practice, you're not going deep enough. Okay. I hope some of you guys take this on. I think that this is probably one of the days where it does take a little bit more time than our other practices. You're doing the miracle morning, you literally just go through the morning and say thank you, thank you, thank you as you go through it. This one, it takes the time for you to go dive deep, connect, go back to your original list, do the list if you didn't do the list of things that you desire, pick the different things. But if you choose to do this, the joy that you're going to feel instantly, let alone the joy that you're going to feel when, not if, when it occurs, is unbelievable. If you want to take it one step further and do a vision board, share them with me. I would love to see that. Or a vision book or a poster, anything like that, that can be very supportive because then you're connecting on a regular basis. 10 different things, you guys. What are you going to have as if you already did? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tell the universe your magical order and let's just see when it's going to show up. You guys, I am Callie Carroll. We're going through 28 days of the magic practice with Rhonda Byrne, specializing in this series to support you just a little bit deeper. Make sure you grab the book so you're going through each one of the activities. Go back to the beginning if you want to see all the different things that we've done and continue to follow along. Make sure that you subscribe so you've got all the other news that's coming. And don't forget, perspective reveals miracles. I love you guys. Talk with you later. Bye. Thanks for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Guys, that's how we impact more lives. All right, see you next time.